Hello, everyone. Welcome back in our another podcast. I'm Mohammad Ahmed Khan, co-founder of the Blockopedia. Today, we have joined with Onuorah Gabriel, Chief Marketing Officer at Spout Finance, and a protocol working on bringing real-world financial stability on chain through its tokenized assets like bonds and equities. And Gabriel is known for his psychology-driven, a CMO profile, education-first approach to growth, focusing on trust, retention, and storytelling in Web3. Gabriel, welcome. Great to have you with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So I would love to start, and as in every podcast, I would love to start with the journey. So Gabriel, can you share your personal journey? How did you first enter Web3 and into the growth ecosystem?
Yeah, definitely. It's a pleasure to be here actually, and I appreciate the whole collaboration. Um, so yeah, I think I joined the Web3 space about like 3 years ago right now, and it has been a roller coaster. I went from I think I pivoted from trading forex to Web3 to the fact I had so many stuff to deal with emotionally and mentally. I noticed I was actually changing from the kind of person I always aimed to be. Then I decided to increase my social life a bit, and I think three actually helped me communicate to more people. Tend to talk with more people, both the whites, the foreigners, and literally everybody. So the journey has been fine, but there are a lot of circumstances in the road. I think I started as a content creator in Web3 late 2023, and then I started having a shift in focus. I became so curious on actually what Web3 is. I started from scratch, learn about more of Web3, the infrastructure, Rails, the consumer apps, why actually would a user care to use a product? I don't know, this curiosity sparked a lot of intellectual movements I made. Early 2024, I started, niching down so seriously on moderation job, community management. I actually love to be in that position of keeping myself in my customer shoe, how is that things like complaints most times, maybe from a bug of a particular product or different things entirely. So, I made a habit of studying constantly human psychology, and I tend to like, have more joy in helping founders build clarity and helping founders explain their complex products to these guys. And it was already part of me then. I told myself, I need to scale up. At the point in 2024, I started hosting a few spaces, and I started noticing how bold I was becoming in the industry. That really, gave me so much joy. I was definitely happy. And I think that was when I got my first contract as a product manager associate with Digital Era Bank. And it was a whole lot of experience. Yeah, I worked closely with the product manager for about like 2 months. It was totally amazing, but due to I think regional stuff, I was unable to continue my journey with them. But that's I think it was about like 2 3 months. I learned a lot of lessons. I learned a lot of things behind still user psychology. Why a user will want a particular feature on a product. I learned the habit of making product usage super comfortable for users. And then I got my contract with Santa Brother too. I was actually a community lead. I actually did a few stuff, although a lot of misunderstanding and misconception happened along the way. I had to like step down. And then, I told myself, yeah, just me, I need to like buckle down and learn more about, marketing and building stuff on Web3 entirely. And then I started reading a lot of books, watching a lot of YouTube podcasts, and I tend to like understand if there are different frameworks in marketing actually. I grew more interest to become a marketer, and I told myself I'm going to learn to a certain level, and I'm going to have a certain level of network before I, get into any other job or tell myself I'm ready to work for this. And then it was progressive. Yeah, I saw a lot of results, and then I I believed that self learning works. and it's super important. I feel most times we don't need people to actually come to us and tell us, hey, bro, you need to go and read. Hey, bro, you need to go and do this. I think most times it's like pick up yourself. Don't wait to be spoon fed. Do that, but when you are uncomfortable. And I think the process gets more interesting to the ear when you tell people, I did this in my uncomfortable state of mind, and I then got in network with my CEO right now, and it has been a super ride with him. We're actually a startup right now, but I've done a lot of message foundation. I've done a lot of communicating to users. I've done a lot of networking, skill a lot of partnerships and stuff like that. So yeah, the journey so far is a nice one, and something I'm going to say I'm super proud of myself because I started from nowhere actually. Although I'm not yet where I want to be, but I keep telling myself, yeah, I'm getting there. The clarity is very obvious, and I'm having, like, the focus is 100%. Regardless of what's happening in the crypto space today, distractions are always plenty. Like, they come in bulk. You tend to see this particular trend happening today, particular trend happening tomorrow, but still, I decided to niche down on what I want to do. Grinding on my own path of success. Yeah. So I'm gonna say that's basically all for now, and yeah, that's just basically all for now about my journey in Web3 and how it all looks like.
Amazing, amazing. That's why, like, everyone, like, I asked to everyone, like, let's break down your journey and the process you have mentioned, and it seems like you build yourself from the scratch. Like, you have started
Yeah,
learning about the Web3 from the books, from the podcast, now then move into the
definitely.
community moderation. So, you know the backbones, like community is the backbone. So you know the communities, you
Yep.
know how they move the market, how it's important, and being a CMO and how the partnership works. And so it's really, really amazing to see. So I would like to
Yeah.
know, like, before Spout, like, what's one insight about user behavior? Because you have mentioned, like, you work as a community moderator and you work with the communities as well. So what's one insight about user behavior that completely changed how you think about marketing?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And if I'm to say one thing about user behavior is you can change a user behavior depending on the kind of products you are building. Users are incentives driven in the crypto industry. If you're building a product and a user doesn't find a means to make money from your products, or entertain themselves with your products, or educate themselves with your products, it's gonna be absolutely like zero to the ground. So, like, I think users tend to, like, users are actually responsible for the success of a product and for the downfall of a product, depending on just how you position it. So if you're trying to say, I'm building this stuff, you should actually think of, why am I building this? Like, why must they use it? What differentiates my products and the other products? That's why sometimes a research analyst is very, very good because they help, get you the competitive analysis of, different products, and tells you, I've gotten like 10 other products that does this. And I think if you do it the same way with them, we're not really going to go to the market. We need to actually do it a different way. You get so I'm going to say users are very incentive driven. So no matter what you are building or what you are doing in the Web3 space, try to make that stuff rewarding, entertaining, educating, so users can actually pay attention to you and buy your product and find yourself going viral and find your product very, very useful in the community too. Yeah.
Yeah, like, lots of the projects and the companies are building for raising the funds. But if a particular company or project is looking for its communities and seem then this is I think this is the only way to get success in the market, because community is everything. Like, what people are thinking about you, and what
Yeah.
exactly you are giving to them, like, what rewards you are giving to them, like that, then how, like,
Yeah.
they can participate themselves into your project. They can be thinking, they can be working alongside with you.
Yeah.
And I have seen, like, the majorly, like, a good team is also coming from the community side. So whenever you need someone who maybe from the marketing side, maybe from the development side, maybe if you are facing any problem, community is there to help you out. So
Yeah,
absolutely agree with you. Community is everything, and if we are thinking about the community, they can definitely put themselves a much more into our project.
yeah,
So
yeah.
my next question, next question, let's move to the Spout. Um, like if someone is hearing about Spout for the first time, how would you explain Spout in simple words?
Yeah. Well, where we are building our Spout right now is we are building a tokenization platforms that allows anyone to borrow liquidity against their stock, against their equities. And in layman terms, I'm going to say Spout allows you to borrow liquidity without selling them off. I'm going to give a major instance right now. Um, Probably, for instance, let's say you need, let's say you have about like 100K in Tesla, only 100K in Tesla, and you have only about like 10K in raw liquidity, and you need an emergency cash of about like 50K or extra 30K to add some, maybe to pay a hospital bill or some other things. I know Spout would be that go-to platform on Solana that, helps you get liquidity against that particular stock. In sense of you come to Spout, you deposit that your particular Tesla, you tokenize it on Spout and mint Spout stable coins. Yes, and then you can actually trade Spout stable coins to actually do what you want. So you come to Spout, put your Tesla as a collateral, and Tesla and Spout gives you 70% off that liquidity to borrow. And that 70% is more of like the lifetime value, and then 30% strike there. Now, the benefits here is that your Tesla still stays in motion. If the value of Tesla increases tomorrow, your money keeps increasing there. And if the value of Tesla keeps decreasing, you're going to keep getting notified about, getting liquidated. You're going to add more leverage or stuff like that. So it's more of like a win-win thing. I would say use your stock to start a business. You can use your stock to start a business without selling them off. You can use your stock to buy a car without selling them off. You can use your stock to buy a house without selling them off. And the most interesting part is starting a business with your stock because, for instance, if I have only 10K left and I want to start a business worth about 5K, I have to sell 5K of my Tesla out. And if Tesla turns like grow in value, probably next 3 to 5 years, I've lost the upside of the whole 10K. So what do I probably do? I come to Spout, deposit my Tesla as a collateral on Spout, leave it there to grow. Why Spout gives me $5,000? I can use the $5,000 there, start my business. But when I get the money back, I can actually come and pay back at 0% rate. I'm not paying back with $7,000 or $5,500 or $6,000. I borrowed $5,000 and I'm paying back instead of just $5,000. Do you get my point? Like, do you understand the whole concept?
Yeah, yeah, this is how like the community is loving the RWA projects right now. Everybody is looking, everybody is talking about the RWA. And Spout is also similar to working with the for the communities. And but I have a doubt, what kind of user is Spout is really built for? Is this for the
Yeah,
DeFi natives? Is this for the TradFi or like a hybrid user?
yeah, we're actually building this platform to bridge TradFi to DeFi, to allow non-crypto users use crypto without letting them know that they are using crypto. So I would always say we are we are a business to customer kind of product, B2C. Probably I'm gonna say we're gonna be B2B, depending on kind of DeFi protocol that want to integrate with us and stuff like that. So why do I say we are actually bridging TradFi to DeFi? Spot stablecoins can be used in many DeFi protocols, either to farm yields or to trade on with another. You'll be able to use Spout stablecoins to trade on different DeFi protocols and different sexes like Hyperliquid, Bybit, and so many others like that, Lighter, etc. And now, what does this actually mean? If a TradeFi user who has always been used to stocks all his life, he never knew anything about Bitcoin, Ethereum, or DeFi, or any other thing. When it comes to Spouts, you're going to see so many options after depositing your collateral. You're going to do more of education to also educate them about DeFi, what they can actually use their money to do in DeFi. Because right now, there are so many DeFi protocols that allows you earn profitable yield. in the sense of, you can stake your money in a particular DeFi protocol and come back to get it at, 15% APY, 10% APY, and so many stuff like that. So we're actually building to bridge TradFi to DeFi to get more non-crypto users into the crypto industry and give them an insight of crypto is actually for everyone. Because what I've tend to find out is that people know about crypto, but people don't use it. I think we have about 8.3 billion people in the world. And out of that 8.3 billion people in the world, statistics have it that only 1.2 billion people knows crypto and 700 million people uses crypto. So you can see that we still have a gap of like 500 million away. They know crypto already, but they aren't using it because of probably they are scared or due to the insecurity stuff. For instance, my parents, the Gen Zs, they never believe in anything crypto. Like they keep hearing of Bitcoin every day, Ethereum, what is Solana, what is Bybit, what is Binance, but they never tend to download it or use them for once. So Spout is like, we're going to be that bridge, that educational bridge, investment bridge, money saving bridge that helps you understand the real concept of crypto and why saving your money in crypto is more profitable than saving it in traditional banks. You get.
Got it, got it. And like many people says, RWA brings stability into DeFi. So, what do you think? Like, what is the biggest misconception people have about RWA in the crypto?
Um, should I say patience? Yeah, I'm gonna say patience. The state of mind we should treat RWA should be entirely different from how we treat crypto tokens. Now, I'm going to say the biggest misconception people tend to have about reward assets is I think they're beginning to think reward assets is a quick money scheme, in the sense of you come to trade and get profit immediately. But it's totally not that stuff. That's why we actually care to build this stuff because you can buy a stock today and before you start getting profit on that stock, like in next 6 months to 1 year time, probably a year to 2 years time, and stuff like that. But instead of holding that stock, just keeping that stock and letting it you stay as long as 1 year without getting another liquidity, that's why we build Spout to fill in that liquidity layer so that when you buy a reward asset, when you buy a particular stock and you need liquidity, you shouldn't sell them off. You can actually get liquidity from Spout. Unlike other crypto tokens where you can actually, swap from Solana to USDC or stuff like that, and volatility is just there. You can, there's a time. I think there's a time in crypto where the volatility was very, very intense during the time Trump just got in as the president of the United States, and it was so outrageous, incredible that every crypto tokens were just pumping and dumping at the same time. We tend to see people who bought Solana today and making profit already in the next like 2 to 3 days. We can see how volatile that is. But I think this is something that's very almost impossible in the reward assets industry. Yes, you can't make quick gains in the reward assets, but the most richest people in the world are actually the ones holding the reward asset because they are long-term holders who actually believe in a company and believe in their value to hold that particular asset. Do you understand my point?
Yeah, like absolutely agree with you. And this is how like education is really quite very important. And lots of the companies, lots of the projects are coming into the market for pumping and dumping, and like and lots of the projects are coming on a regular like if you check out in the morning, like you will be finding out okay, 10 new companies are coming in the
Yeah.
market. When you shut up your lab system in the evening, like okay, like 10 are 10 are gone into the market, like what is the team behind it, nobody knows. So we are into the space where lots of the scams and the failures are happening very frequently. So how do you personally think about building long-term trust in an industry? Maybe you are serving as a chief marketing officer at Spout. So maybe if we talk about the Spout, how do you think like about building long-term trust in an industry that has seen so many scams and the failures at present?
Yeah, this is a very good question, I think. And I think the answer to this is actually security level. The level of security should actually get more tightened in the crypto industry. And aside from really security level, I think credibility also matters, you know, depending on the kind of people you actually, shake hands with in partnership and, depending on the kind of brand you're actually building to. So I feel like the best way to actually position yourself as a long-term brand is through proper, consistent messaging. Your message should actually let a user reach the future in it. You get so, and what I do believe is, how am I gonna? I'm thinking about a better way to frame this. Actually believe in messaging as a very good conviction tool in the mind of every user. Transparency, honesty, and many other stuff like that. You shouldn't over promise your community what you know you're not going to do. Yet when and whatever the condition is, always be transparent and open to tell the community. I think this is a way to build like strong, trust and the long-term brand for yourself, for the company, and likewise, for the sake of benefiting the team as well. And you tend to see people at that stage, trying to even endure with you, no matter the kind of problem you're actually going through at that particular stage of time. Do you understand?
Yes, like transparency is really very important for the success of any project. Like maybe they are walking into the DeFi, maybe into the RWA, maybe any into the trading field. Like transparency is really very important, and for the community side, this is also like a very important. So, like being like you have a background as a moderator, and you are now into the marketing side. You are handling the growth and the whole the ecosystem. I would like to know,
Mhm.
like, what metrics matters you the most, like growth numbers or retention or in engagement?
Um, I matter more about retention, yeah, and I matters more about revenue too. I don't mind if I have 1,000 diehard fans than a million followers on X. Yeah, they are two different things. 1,000 people who can vouch for me, who can say Spout is good, who can say I'm going to use Spout. 1,000 people who keeps coming back to borrow, who keeps coming back to lend their money on Spout. Okay, than 1,000 or a million followers on X. So I keep focusing on retention. And I think this one thing also that my communication skill have also helped me to actually gain for this product I've actually worked for in the past. If you keep focusing on users acquisition, and you don't know how to activate them to stay and keep coming back, it's a big missing gap. Let's use the airdrop, for instance, and everything happening in the crypto industry right now. Let's say project announcing airdrop and this starts and that this, they and at that point in time, you see them actually being careless about the kind of promises they're making. And at that very point, every dem users you see testing their product at that time is just there for the reward. What happens after the reward is what I care most about. How to retain those people that have actually tested my product and how to strategically continue to incentivize them properly so they can keep staying, keep using, and keep coming back. Most importantly, keep referring other people about the product. So I think I matter more about retention numbers. I don't mind if a million people sees my product and I get maybe 10,000 people. It's very, very good to me. Like I deeply appreciate it because I know if, for instance, we have a lifetime value of let's say $10, for instance, from every damn users, and my product actually gets to reach the eyes of 1 million people, and at the end of the day, I actually get only 10,000 people who actually use the product. I think it's up to like 100K in revenue get to the more users you retain, the more growth in revenue you are ought to have. So I'm strictly believing in retention and value your first 10 users more than anything because your first 10 users in every product and cycle you're building are actually very most important. They are the core foundation of a product. They are the ones who will tell the next 10, who will tell the next 10, who will tell the next 10 to keep coming to your product. So depending on the way you actually communicate with them, and treat them, they would actually love your product and they would actually love to stay and stay and stay and keep using your products. Do I sound good right now?
Yeah, it's really sounds good. Like, and it can also be an advice for the founders or the companies who are struggling for to get traction. Like, your answer can be very helpful for them. so that they can also learn from your from this podcast. Like, okay, if you are facing this particular problem, this is the main important part you have to cover. So that's how you are going to increase your traction oversight. So I would like to know more like about from the marketing side. What mistake do you see like founders repeatedly making in the marketing and for the growth side?
Yeah, the major mistake founder make is build it and they'll come. Like, I don't know why they just tend to have this kind of weird mentality. You know, you're actually building a product. I don't have plans for marketing. You know, it hurts so much when a founder is trying to perform magic without a marketing budget. So, most founders in crypto industry are so, I don't want to use the word illiterate, or I think they are inexperienced when it comes to like money management in marketing. I don't say you should burn $1 million on marketing, but I think m- money is very important in the sense now. You shouldn't build a product and keep forcing marketers or awareness drivers, these are KOLs, content creators, to just keep posting or trying to, promote your products for free. Nobody ever does that. Especially in the kind of world we are right now, like I said earlier, the whole crypto community is incentive driven. And depending on how you plan to incentivize your community or your team, they would actually do more work. You shouldn't expect like a magic. And the other side of this problem is founders tend to founders tend to feel like VCs are the main thing. Yeah, I know, yeah, VCs are good. It's quite okay to raise money, but there are some other things you need to do with your own money as a founder. You get, and these are actually the things VC love to see. VCs love to see too. You get, when you're actually building a stuff and you know you don't have a good background connection with these guys, you should actually like try to pump a little stuff, into your products, into your socials, especially, try to build a proof that your product actually need demand so that the VCs can be, the VCs can be convinced enough to actually write a check or stuff you get. So the major problem I see founders tend to have in marketing is they tend to feel like when they build it, users will come. No matter the kind of great tech you are building, if you don't plan to, keep showing yourself out there, keep showing up every day, keep doing things every day. Just show up every day, regardless of anything that's happening. People will tend to like use it. For instance, I'm going to use this instance for example. Thereby FX. I don't know if you come across I don't know if you've come across him before. It's a very I think it's a very big magazine Solana ecosystem. And during my first time in the Web3 space, I constantly see this guy posting about Nest Wallet. Yeah, it's a former Solana wallet. Yeah, I think they don't exist any longer. And a lot of times you keep posting about Nest Wallet, Nest Wallet, Nest Wallet. And then I come across this page, I keep seeing him Nest Wallet. I never intend to use the product once, but because I saw him showing up, I saw other creators writing about them, I saw other people writing about them, and how consistent the founder too also was, also showing up for the brand. I just decided to download it. Like I started using it, and when I downloaded it, I actually I found it very, very, very interesting. You get, so if these guys haven't been showing up for a while, or they show up today, they stop, and then show up next week again, they stop, and then show up next month again, I wouldn't have been convinced enough to download the product. Now, imagine if there are 1,000 people like me, it means they've gotten 1,000 downloads that day. So that's kind of mentality I just like following across this. Do you understand my point?
Got it, got it. Like this is also one of the good advice, like the money management and how you are measuring the analysis and how where exactly you are putting your money. You must be aware about it. What actually the KPIs you are going to hit by that particular movement you are going to do into the market. So it's really amazing.
Yeah.
Like we talk a lot about on the marketing side, on the Spout and your journey. So I have a last question. Like, would you like to share any plan which you have for the Spout? Where exactly you guys are moving, where you are seeing yourself in upcoming, like in 2026 or maybe in 2027? What exactly you have planned and where you are moving?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So, and I'm going to say, we are. intending to see ourselves as the go-to super saving app for the crypto industry and the DeFi world entirely. And we also plan to like, yeah, the initial plan right now is, to position Spout in some basic important regions, like where we have much demands. I'm going to mention a few like Argentina and Brazil, for instance. So I think most of our plans are like, like most of our plans are like dominating those countries. And, teaching them about spouse finance, teaching them about DeFi and crypto entirely. And once we tend to like get more traction from this side of the world, I think it will be very super easy for us to like move ahead. And yeah, I'm going to say Spouse is going to be a very big company in the next 2 to 3 years, depending on depending on yeah the plans right now, because there are a lot of plans on the table right now, and there are a lot of partners we're talking to right now, and there are a lot of partners we've also got in touch with right now. So I'm super bullish on I'm super bullish on what I'm about to do for Spout Finance, and I'm super bullish on GoPro entirely because we have great engineers and great team that have much background experience. So yeah,
Nice, nice. And I wish you all the best for the spout. And in this podcast, like I also learned so much things from the community side, from the engagement side, from the retention, and uh, like uh, uh, it's actually a founder's journey. It's actually a hustler's journey. I feel like you build yourself from the scratch, and now you know the power of the community. And in this podcast, like
yeah,
we discuss a lot more about the community. I discuss more about like how a project survive in the space, like how the community is important and how like the why spout is really important, like for the user side, for the builder side, and for the investor side as well. So it's really amazing. And it's like a very short conversation. I think we have going to finish up in 30 minutes, and I'm definitely looking forward to discuss a lot more into the marketing side, more into the ecosystem side, more into the growth and the community side. So hopefully we'll be having a episode 2 as well. And at that time, I will be picking up some community questions so that we can learn more about. We can also answer some community questions. And I feel like
so
I really feel amazed, like by having with you. And so, thank you so much, Gabriel, for joining us and sharing your thinking and your growth and building trust in the Web3. So, thank you so much, Gabriel. Thanks for your time.
yeah. Sure,
Yeah.
you're welcome, brother. I really appreciate your time also, and also thank you for having me on the podcast today. I deeply appreciate and take for granted.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching this video. If you like it, share it on your socials and subscribe on our YouTube channel so that we can come up with more and more podcasts with you. Thank you so much, Gabriel. Thank you so much for the community.
Yeah, bye.